1 rand, 5 rand, 20 rand. Jeez, things are getting expensive. Hi, I'm Floyd. I've already chosen some groceries. I'm on quite a tight budget, so I made a note of the quantities and prices. It's amazing how many numbers we come across on a daily basis. Most of the time, we're not even aware of the numbers. We just accept that they're part of our lives. Think about road signs, shops, advertisements, you name it. There's a number in it somewhere. For different items, we use different quantities. Right, I've been in this shop for way too long now, about 3/4 of an hour. I've got a dash. I have to be in studio for another 3 hours, so I better rush. But I don't want to get a 100 rand traffic fine, so I better stick to the speed limit of 60 kilometers per hour. Hey, I just couldn't resist using all those numbers. See you in studio.
Camera in 3, 2, 1.
As you saw, we use different numbers for different situations. In this series of lessons, we're going to look at different number systems and these kind of examples. We'll also analyze the whole real number system and be able to recognize these types of numbers. We will explore the real number system and see why it is important for us to recognize the different types of numbers. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify natural and whole numbers, state the properties of 1 and 0, list integers. What type of numbers was the director using when he did the countdown? We work with them all the time. In mathematical terms, we say that counting numbers are natural numbers. Whenever you count things or people in a room, you are using natural numbers. Now let's define natural numbers. The set of natural numbers includes 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. What do I mean when I say and so on? It means you follow the pattern. So to find the next natural number, you simply add 1. The smallest natural number is 1. The number 1 has special properties. Let's see if you can identify them. If there are 15 friends, each with 1 textbook, then how many textbooks are there in total? 15 times 1 is 15. Too easy, I know. If we multiply any number by 1, the value stays the same. 1 is therefore the multiplicative identity. Now think about this. If a lottery draw has a grand prize of 15 million rand that must be won, and only one really lucky person wins, how much money does the person win? I hope you thought it's 15 million rand. Here we are working with division. We are dividing 15 million rand into one part, and therefore the answer will be 15 million rand. Pretty simple calculations, huh? So what have we learned by doing this? If the total amount is divided by 1, the value remains the same, which in this case is 15 million rand. Remember, when we divide, we can always check the answer by multiplying. Here the answer multiplied by 1 gives the original 15 million rand. So in checking, I have used the multiplicative identity. Right, that's enough about 1. Now if 1 is the smallest natural number, what is the biggest natural number? What's the biggest number that you can think of? For any number that you choose, for example, this number, I will tell you that there's at least one bigger number than that, and I get that number by adding on 1, plus 1. So, we cannot actually state the biggest number in the set of natural numbers. We use the following notation. The set of natural numbers is the set containing 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Natural numbers can also be represented on a number line like this. Remember to use a dot to represent each separate number, and here we show that the numbers continue in the same pattern. Okay, let's move on. If I spent all my money when I went shopping, I would have no money left. Now, in terms of the development of the number systems, the set of natural numbers did not allow for the concept of nothing. So the set of natural numbers was extended to include the numbers 0 or naught. The new set is called the set of whole numbers. The set of whole numbers includes the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Have you ever wondered what 0 is? Is it nothing or is it something? Time to spin the clock back a few hundred years and talk a bit about history. The Indians and the Arabs were among the first to develop the number 0 into a number system. Leonardo of Pisa, also known as Fibonacci, said that 0 could be used as a placeholder to separate figures in a number. Do you remember that I bought 750 grams of coffee? Consider the number 750. The 7 represents the hundreds, 5 the tens, and 0 the units. Simple so far. In this example, we use 0 as the placeholder. If we did not write the 0, or if 0 had no meaning, the number would be 75 instead of 750. Let's now look at the properties of 0 as a number in its own right. If 15 friends each have a textbook and they do not receive any more books, how many books are there in total? Clearly the answer is 15. In general, if we add 0 to any number x, then the answer is x. 0 is therefore known as the additive identity. If there are 12 friends and not one of them has a textbook, then how many textbooks are there in total? Clearly, there are no textbooks. If you multiply any number by 0, the answer is 0. You need to remember this in algebra as well. Unknowns represent numbers, and this property of 0 is always true. X multiplied by 0 is always equal to 0. And in the same way, x multiplied by y multiplied by z multiplied by a multiplied by b multiplied by c, and all of that multiplied by 0 will also be equal to 0. After my shopping spree, I now offer to share all the money in my wallet with you. But you know that I've got no money left. So how much will you and I each have? We will each have nothing. 0 divided into 2 equal parts equals 0. In fact, 0 divided into any number of parts will always be 0. Let's check that. The answer multiplied by the denominator must give the numerator of the fraction. Here in this case, 0 multiplied by 2 does in fact give 0. If a lottery pool is 15 million rand and nobody has the right numbers, how must the winnings be divided? Think about that carefully. There are no winners, so there's no one to give the money to. So what does it mean to divide the winnings among the winners? It makes no sense at all. We say that division by 0 is undefined. We can never divide by 0. Division by 0 is undefined. Remember this in algebra as well. If we have 12 divided by x, then x may not be 0. So too, for y minus 3 divided by 1 plus 4, then the whole denominator, y plus 4, may not be 0. Okay, let's play a quick game to see if you can do these calculations. Which of these is equal to 0? 3 times 0, 0 divided by 12 million, 2 times 5 times 0, 11 divided by 0, 8 divided by 2, all of that multiplied by 0, 5 divided by 0 times 2. Okay, let's check. Maths is all about being thorough. 3 times 0. Yes, any number multiplied by 0 is 0. 0 divided by 12 million. Okay, dividing 0 into any number of parts will still give 0. 2 times 5 times 0. It does not matter what the number is. When it is multiplied by 0, you know the answer is 0. 11 divided by 0. Uh-oh, we found something that's undefined. 8 divided by 2 times 0. Okay, again this is 0. 5 divided by 0 times 2. Remember that 0 times 2 is 0, and you are trying to divide 5 by that 0. That's also undefined. Remember, 0 is a whole number but not a natural number. The set of whole numbers can be represented on the number line as follows. Note that it's all the natural numbers plus 0. Now, what if I spent all my cash but still needed to do some more shopping? It's not a wise thing to do, but I could use a credit card, which allows me to spend the money that I do not have. Alternatively, I could arrange an overdraft on my check account. In either case, my bank balance would show that I owe money and that I have a negative bank balance. Over time, people developed numbers as the need arose. As people started trading and owing each other money or products, negative numbers arose. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weather. Temperatures will plummet to below freezing in Kimberley overnight. A minimum temperature of -3 degrees Celsius is expected, with the highs topping out at 13 degrees Celsius. In Johannesburg, afternoon thunder showers are expected tomorrow, with rainfall expected to be around 12 millimeters, so expect a very wet weekend. It's time to shake off the cobwebs off those umbrellas. From me, Floyd, till next time, that's your weather. Don't worry, I won't quit my day job. Now back to the lesson. When we went grocery shopping, we also bought frozen foods. The carrots that we bought need to be stored at a freezer at a temperature of -18 degrees Celsius. This brings us to the definition of the next set of numbers, namely the set of integers. The set of integers consists of all the whole numbers plus the negatives of the natural numbers. On a number line, integers can be represented like this. In different situations, you will use numbers from different sets of numbers. What is important here is that you remember the properties of 0 and 1. Whether you are working with whole numbers, integers, or unknowns, you always need to keep the properties in mind. Well, we have 0 time left, so bye for now.